Hello, beautiful earth angels. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Earth Angels Unite. I'm delighted to be here with you for podcast 162. I'm pretty sure. I hope. Forgot to write that down. Pain is signaling fear's release. So when fear is ready to release, it shows up as pain. And humans fear pain. We resist it, hate it, deny it, suppress it, and try to get rid of it as quickly as possible. But pain is not a punishment, a prison, or a penance. From the angelic perspective, pain is a portal to your next level of healing, a portal to greater receptivity, a portal to the gem hidden within the experience. Your pain has a purpose, a message, and a gem. And sometimes pain is a signal that fear is ready to be released. And that's what we're going to talk about today in this podcast. Let me listen. So, for those of you who are new to me, my name is Jill Kempner, and I'm known as the angelic pain relief expert. And I'm on a mission to heal the pain of the world one soul at a time so that you glow from the inside out. And what do I mean by glowing from the inside out? It means that all those dark, heavy, leaden pain spots inside of you are now glowing gems. So my mission is to lead highly sensitive, highly intuitive souls to transform your pain into peace and become calm, clear, and confident with angel love and relaxation. And this, one of my cards today was, this is your life's purpose. And as I was, praying and meditating and doing my yoga practice this morning, I was just feeling grateful that I get to do what I love every single day. And I'm not saying there aren't challenges of being a soulpreneur and of being vulnerable and visible, right, to add value. But I get to, right? I get to do my life's purpose. And I'm so honored. And it's because of you. It's because of you, brave, courageous souls who show up for yourself. So thank you. So my intention with these podcasts is to create a space of transformation, that you come one person and you leave transformed. And what I mean by that is that you are, hold on, my brain just went blank for some reason. It's okay. The space of transformation. So I have this intention that this is time for you, time and space for you to connect with your angels, to hear them, feel them, and trust them to the next level. And there was another piece of that I wanted to say, but I feel like it'll come back. So thank you. Setting the intention, right? Because energy follows intention. For you to receive more love, more unconditional love than you ever have before, when you take the time to connect with this podcast, whether you're here live or through the replay. If you're live, say hi. Say hi if you're here. Welcome. Coffee with Patty Pod. Welcome. Love to see you. Say hi if you're here. So happy, right? Happy June. We are in the middle of the Gemini season, and we are moving closer and closer to the summer solstice. And I am actually going to be out of town for the solstice. I'm actually going to be in Asheville, North Carolina at a concert with my whole family. My whole immediate family, I should say, because we have a large extended family. And I am thrilled to be celebrating the beginning of a season, doing something I love with the people I love. So again, so blessed, right? And again, I'm on this mission to heal the pain of the world one soul at a time by helping you glow from the inside out, right? So glowing up. So understanding that below it all, right? Below the pain, below the fear is medicine, is a gem. And I'm here to help you discover that with my alchemy formula, with the relax, release, receive process, with the slow, simple, soft process. So let me see what else the angels are saying. I felt like there was something coming through. Just going to dive right in, and then I know it'll all be revealed. So pain is defined as physical or emotional suffering, discomfort, or distress. And of course, I define pain in my book because my whole entire book, that was what I was going to say. Angels reminded me about one part. So I'm here sharing the medicine of my book, Receiving from Your Angels, as an angel coach, alchemist, and author. And I'm just honored. I'm honored to share my medicine in this way. I'm honored to support you in receiving more love than you've ever received before. And we're talking about pain and all the ways that it shows up in your journey, because when fear is ready to release, it shows up as pain. And that was the motivating sentence and teaching from my book that the angels wanted to unpack today. So from the angelic perspective, pain is not just something you endure, right? It's something we listen to. So pain is a messenger. Interesting, so are the angels, right? Angels are messengers of God, right? The heartbeats of source. So pain is a messenger carrying information, wisdom, and healing opportunities. And so when I was praying about this podcast, what came through is knowing that pain has many forms, right? Physical pain can show up as illness, injury, inflammation, dis-ease, tension, fatigue, or chronic symptoms in the body. I know when I was I've experienced chronic pain, which was actually the motivator to writing this book, to sharing my medicine in this way, and really healing it naturally, healing it authentically. And I experienced, I tore my ACL and had ACL surgery, knee pain, and the chronic pain from that, although that is, almost 100%. Shoulder pain from going back to work too early as a massage therapist after I tore my knee, and that leading to the work I do today. Gut pain from Crohn's disease, right? Taking too much Motrin while I had the knee pain, and high levels of cortisol and stress and PTSD from the multiple initiations I have been through. So I fully understand physical pain. And I also know, angels reminded me of this, right? Once the pain is actually physicalized, there's an opportunity to heal that pain once and for all, and to end the cycle, not only for you, but your lineage. So thank you, angels, for reminding me of that. There's emotional pain, right? Which is the heaviness of unprocessed grief, sadness, anger, disappointment, heartbreak, fear, and loss that has not been fully acknowledged, felt, or held, right? So not all emotions, right, are pain. Of course, we have positive and wonderful emotions as well. And here, thanks to you, the angels reminded me of this, right? If we leave that grief unprocessed, it'll live in the lungs, right? It'll live in the throat chakra. It'll live in the lungs. So what do we do with that grief, right? When we transform that grief, when we alchemize that grief, when we process that grief, right? The gift of that, there's so many gifts, but one of the gifts is that the depth of our grief is the depth of the joy that we can feel. So how perfect is that? How beautiful is that? Thank you, angels. We can have mental pain, right? Often appears as repetitive, fear based, ego driven thoughts, such as worry, self criticism, self judgment, doubt, catastrophizing, worst case scenario thinking, right? I mean, like, whoa, mental pain. And let me go back to the emotional pain. And obviously, as you know, I've experienced multiple levels of I've bottom line is I've experienced all these pains, right? Which is why I'm the angelic pain relief expert. And I can feel confident about helping you transform your pain. Emotionally, my father was killed when I was 11, and I carried a mountain of hurt and grief and anger, and fear inside of me. And that initiation led to multiple levels of awakening. And so that mental pain, right? I think I really experienced mental pain during my dark night of the soul. Because that's where I felt like it literally, I was in the dark, right? Reliving what led me to the psych hospital, and beating myself up about it, right? I considered myself to be the rock. I considered myself to be the one who had it all together. And then I fell apart. But it was the best thing that happened to me, right? My dark night of the soul led me to energy medicine, led me to the angels and the work I do today. And then spiritual pain, which is the deepest pain of all, right? It's the belief that we are separate from source. This is the fear of all fears, right? It's the core fear that we're separate from source, right? Disconnected from love, abandoned by the divine. And for me, this is how I felt for a long time, somehow bad, wrong, broken, and unworthy of belonging, right? That's our deepest fear. And that's one of the deepest pains we experience as highly sensitive, highly intuitive souls. So while all of these forms of pain may appear differently, they're also all invitations. They're signals guiding us towards healing, wholeness, a deeper connection within ourselves, our souls, and the divine. And what I like to say, and the angels like to say, hi, happiness, hi, Pete, is they're all on the same side, right? Your soul, your loving angels, the loving divine, all the masters and all the team, right? Your whole team, they're all on the same side, the side of unconditional love, on your side. And not just on your side, right? In front, behind, both sides, above, below, within. I love that. So when one of the downloads I received for this podcast was about thinking about pain differently, right? And I understand the heaviness of all these different types of pain. And, pain is exhausting. Pain is frustrating. Pain is draining, right? Pain makes us feel crabby, tense, irritable, right? I get that. But here's what the angels are saying. Pain is not a penance. Pain is a teacher. So pain has taught me to slow down. Pain has taught me to honor my body's wisdom. Pain has taught me that while pain may be inevitable in the human experience, suffering is optional. And I invite you to look back and see what your pain has taught you. So one of the things the angels want to do, and I'm hearing this clearly, is like unhook us from pain is a penance. And align us with the truth of our pain, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. which is that it is a teacher, right? A mentor, not a tormentor. I feel like there's something else the angels are saying about that. And the ego, right, thrives on pain. It's like it feeds on the pain body. And more than anybody, I know the grip that it has. So the other thing the angels were saying is that pain is not a prison, although it can certainly feel like one sometimes, right? Pain is a change maker. So we don't have to be trapped by our pain, right? For me, tearing my knee, ACL surgery, recovery, all of that, and then tearing my shoulder became the catalyst that changed the direction of my life and actually put me more into what I was just talking about earlier, right? My life's purpose, which is literally what I'm doing right now. Teaching, healing, and writing is my genius zone. Teaching, healing, and writing is my life's purpose. And when my body needed the rest, needed the break, needed more support, the pain became a change maker. Say hi if you're here. So those experiences ultimately led me to retire from massage therapy and step into the work I do today as an angelic pain relief expert. And then, of course, pain is not a punishment. This is what the angels say. Pain is not a punishment. It's a portal. So think about a portal, right? It's this opening, this doorway, this gateway to your next level, to another dimension, to another frequency, right? So, wow, when the angels showed me that, right? Pain is not a punishment, it's a portal, right? To healing, receptivity, guidance, transformation. It was such a relief because for most of my life, I believe that the pain I was experiencing in my body was a punishment for something I had done wrong in this life or in past lives. Let me know if that resonates with you. But the angels taught me that something very different. They taught me that pain is not evidence that I am bad or broken or being punished, that pain was an invitation to listen more deeply, to love more fully, and to receive the wisdom hidden within the experience. Now, I'm not talking, right? Two things are coming to me. When your body is ill or injured, it's not sabotaging you. It just needs more love. That was the first download that came through and reminder of a message from my book. And we're not spiritually bypassing. I'm not just saying, oh, be a Pollyanna, put rose-colored glasses on and say, oh, there's a gift in my pain and I have to find it and all of that. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. No. Right? That's where the slow, simple, soft process comes. Because the work I do with my clients, there's no spiritually bypassing, right? There's no toxic positivity. We are slowing down and being with that pain. But understand, I know we can have parts that are afraid of that, but we're being with the pain with being aligned with our soul, with our team of angels, with source wisdom pouring in. So thank you for that download, right? So when fear is ready to release, it shows up as pain. And here's something that like came to me when I was channeling this. Humans can have a surprisingly high tolerance for living with fear, worry, anxiety, stress, and overwhelm. But when that fear goes untouched, unprocessed, and unloved for long enough, it eventually asks for our attention through pain. Right? That's why this matters. Because we are not merely here to survive our fears. We are here to face every fear with the light of our soul. Right? And what is fear? False expectations appearing real. So we're here to transform fear into faith, fear into safety, and fear into peace. Fear into wisdom, into the gem. So we're here to end the cycle. And so we're moving part of our evolution, part of our ascension from 3D to 5D, right? The 5D frequency, which is unity consciousness, unconditional love, and abundance consciousness. That's where we're going. And you healing your pain and transforming that fear into a gem is part of that mission. So you matter, right? The message I received in this universal year one, in this 2026, which is the first year, it's a year one of a 9-year epicycle, was you first. You matter. Your frequency, your healing, your medicine, your light, your message matters. So because when fear remains unconscious, it repeats. It repeats through our thoughts, our behaviors, our relationships, our bodies, and sometimes even through the generations, as we've seen. Say hello, say hi if you're here. When we listen to the message, receive the gem, and allow fear to be transformed through love, the cycle can finally complete. So I'm hearing the angels say, pause here. What is the fear you are transforming? Hi, Sarah. I was just literally thinking about you. And your sweet message you sent me about my infectious laugh, my joyful laugh. Now I always think about it. What fear, whether you're here live, whether you're connecting with the replay, put it down, right? What is the fear that's showing up as pain for you that you're ready to release, that you're ready to end that cycle once and for all? You're ready as a cycle breaker, right? As an earth angel, empath, cycle breaker, light worker, transforming. And honestly, of course, I want to know, but it's not about me. It's about you acknowledging it to you and doing the work to make that happen. So, and that's why pain matters. Not because it's a punishment, but because it's often pointing us toward the very healing that will set us free. So why is it so hard to receive the message hidden inside of our pain? Because we've been taught to fear pain, right? We've been taught that pain is bad. Pain is something like pain means something is wrong. Pain is something to suppress, avoid, numb, fix, or get rid of as quickly as possible, as I said in the beginning, in the opening. Now, to be clear, there are times when pain requires medical intervention and support, right? Acute pain serves an important purpose. It alerts us of injury, illness, and danger. And the angels know this. Well, there's something else they were saying. Anyway, it'll come. So, but many sensitive souls spend their lives fighting every experience of pain, never stopping long enough to ask, what the pain might be trying to teach them. And this is where we need support, right? This is where I support my clients. And why I recommend you build a team of people. And I like to say, putting me back together, right? A team of people holding me up, supporting me, helping me remember who I am, helping me remember why I'm here, right? Because no man is an island. We're not here. Like, I keep hearing this message from the angels: stop doing it alone. Ask your soul, ask your angels, ask the divine, ask others. It's okay to be vulnerable and ask for help. Okay. Downloads. So, where was I? Okay. So it's also hard because many of us become attached to the battle. We become accustomed to fighting, struggling, fixing, and pushing through. Raise your hand, right? We're often more familiar with conflict than peace. The ego feeds on fear, uncertainty, and control. The soul vibrates at peace, trust, receptivity, curiosity. So when pain arises, the ego wants to battle it. It's actually an ego battle, right? The battle within. We were just talking about this in my alchemist workshop. But the soul wants to listen to it. The ego wants to force an answer. The soul wants to receive one. And that's why healing requires us to slow down, simplify, and soften. The wisdom hidden inside the pain cannot be forced. It can only be received. And that's why I literally wrote an entire book called Receiving from Your Angels: 4 Practices to Heal Your Pain with Angel Love. You could read this book and heal any pain, step by step, by loving step by loving step by loving step. And that's what the podcast, these podcasts are a living transmission. The book is a living document. And this is the living transmission. All the messages that have come through in my years of helping people heal their pain, seeing it differently, transforming it into a gem. So you can alchemize your pain through the relax, release, receive process. And honestly, it doesn't have to take a long time, right? It's only the ego that says this is going to take a long time, right? Healing happens in an instant, in a holy instant, right? Miracles, which is another one of my cards today, right? Expect miracles is one of my cards today. Happens in an instant. And the divine paradox is healing takes time, which is why I take my clients on a journey. Isn't that amazing? The divine paradoxes. All right. So recently I began experiencing shoulder pain in an area where I had a repetitive strain injury. I've been doing 50 squats a day, and, just for the legs and lower body. And I wanted to start adding weights. So I started adding a weight, and then I felt the strain again. So around the same time, I was also needing to move. This was last week. I'm needing to move several angel workshops to new dates. Something I admittedly don't enjoy doing, moving workshops. So during a visit with my chiropractor, divinely timed, rescheduled visit, he was working on my shoulder and muscle testing when the word anguish came up. And I had just said, oh, I hate moving workshops. And then he said, 8 years old. What was happening around that age? Now, as many of you know, I had a chaotic and stressful childhood. A lot actually happened from 0 to 11 before my father was killed. And I never related a lot of what I had experienced to anguish until he named it, right? Name it to tame it. So it was such a beautiful insight because I immediately recognized that this wasn't just living the pain, right? This pain, shoulder pain, wasn't just living in my conscious mind. It was also in my subconscious mind, this anguish, and in my tissues. It's like, whoa, issues in the tissues. So as we explored it, memory, and he was working on me, right? Memories and feelings began to surface. The anguish of disappointment, the anguish of being let down by the adults around me, the anguish of people not showing up, the anguish of expecting support and not receiving it, right? This was all that my 8-year-old, right, my inner child had been holding. So afterward, I brought this experience into the I mean, I have relief from his particular session in work. And then I took it to the alchemy formula, right? Invitation plus devotion plus intention plus R to the third, relax, release, receive equals alchemy. Because I'm like, oh, wait, let's get a gem here. And so I asked, what lesson am I learning from this anguish? And it was interesting because I was doing a value add video on Friday and I was talking about this. And I hadn't asked that question yet leading up to the video. Don't ask me why. I just hadn't asked. I mean, it was like, yeah, I just hadn't asked it. It was a busy couple days. And I'm sitting there going, I need to get the gem now from the anguish. And it just landed in, right? I show up. I keep my word. I do what I say I'm going to do. Something when several years back when I was having a birthday party with friends and we were going around the table and everyone was giving me like compliments, and it's not like from the ego place. It's the soul, like remembering. And people were saying a lot of wonderful things. And one of the things somebody said was, my dear friend, Jill, you show up. You're always there. Right. And it was like, I love that, but I had no idea. I never related it to being a gem of anguish until that minute live on the video while I was sharing and talking that it came through. And I was like, oh my gosh, right? And underneath the anguish, right, I discovered something even deeper, right? There was this fear. The fear of disappointing people, the fear of letting people down. That's why the workshops, changing the workshops, felt like I was pushing the river, right? Because I had a fear of disappointing people, a fear of letting people down, a fear that if things didn't go according to plan, somehow I failed. So the shoulder pain wasn't sabotaging me. It wasn't punishing me. It was signaling that something deeper was ready to be seen, heard, loved, held, and eventually alchemized. Like, how beautiful was that? And once I received the message, the fear began to soften, the pain began to release. And now I have a greater awareness, right? This gem that from all that anguish I experienced of people not keeping their word and showing up, I show up. People know that they can count on me. And that feels really good. And that brought some beautiful relief. So let me just listen for a minute. And I want to say this too. Maybe I'm going to do another whole podcast about this, but like your pain, when you start to see it through the eyes of love, becomes this barometer, right? You start to recognize, oh, when I'm in pain, it's for me, it's that now I know about the anguish, right? But there was a lot of other things that were in here because I've been working on clearing codependency patterns with my family, right? Carrying it all, rescuing. I thought that was a lot of what was in there. And now there's just another layer in there. So the pain can become a barometer, right? Because your body is the barometer measuring the weight of your thoughts and feelings. The pain can, instead of being like, oh, right, our first instinct is kill the pain, get rid of the pain, contract. But what if when we have pain, we expand? So, one of the most important things I help my clients to do is stop fighting their pain long enough to listen to it. Together, we look at the pain through the eyes of love and ask a different question. Instead of, how do I get rid of this? We ask, what is this pain trying to teach me? Because ultimately, what's that they say, when you learn the lesson, you stop repeating um, the pattern, right? So that's like my mission. It's like, I want you to stop repeating that pain pattern. I want you to be pain free and stop repeating that pain pattern once and for all. And you're filled up with all these gems, right? And we do it. So one of my clients came to me with chronic headaches, and she had experienced these for over 20 years. As we explored the pain from the angelic perspective, we discovered the fear underneath it, right? The fear of being trapped by the pain, the fear of not having control over her life, her body, the fear of the next headache. When she stopped battling the pain and began listening to it, she received gems around safety, discernment, self-trust, and permission to rest. The fear began to soften, and so did her relationship with the pain. I had another client that was struggling with multiple autoimmune conditions and significant physical pain. As we slowed down and listened to her body, she discovered beneath the symptoms were fear, grief, and years, decades, of carrying expectations of opinions that didn't even belong to her. Through daily practice, self-energy work, and angel guidance, she was able to release what she had been carrying and receive a deeper sense of self-compassion and empowerment, right? Her pain levels decreased so much that she was able to reduce medications and the use of the walking support that she once needed. It's like, whoa, right? And this was someone who, like I said, had been experiencing decades of pain. Again and again, the same, I see the same truth. Beneath the pain is often a fear. Beneath the fear is a lesson. Beneath the lesson is a gem. When we receive the gem, the cycle can end, right? That's what it means to be a cycle breaker. So when I'm getting down, sometimes when I get down on myself because, I'm human, and I find myself repeating some of the same patterns over again, I remind myself, I'm a cycle breaker. I signed up for this, and I have all the tools, all the support, all the love, all the guidance to transform this. And then when I'm feeling down, I double down, right? I do the practice more. I don't throw it away. I actually did a whole podcast about double down, right? When the fear gets loud or the pain gets loud, double down, right? We don't throw the practice away. We do it more until we receive the transformation. And so I want to pull a card for you. Before I do that, I'm deciding which deck to use. I have so many beautiful angel decks to share a message. I have an invitation for you to a free consult. It's called the Angelic Pain Relief Consult. So this is a 1-hour conversation over Zoom where I'm listening to you and your angels. It's a heartfelt and compassionate space. And I want to say, I know how vulnerable it is to slow down and start to look at your pain differently, just to look at your pain, right? And so the angels know how courageous, I know how courageous it is and how vulnerable it is. So this is a loving, sacred space where I'm going to share what your angels are saying about your pain. And together we're going to create a roadmap to relief. And if we're a good fit, I will share the details of my coaching programs with you. I have several ways to work with me in the angels, from healing to a 3-hour retreat filled with tools, to coaching, which has tools, healing, support, all the things, right? There's so many ways to connect with me and the angels. And, the consult is the best way I can help you. So I'm going to put that link in the comments so that you can click that link. I will be on vacation for 9 days. So, and I think I have maybe one or two openings in June for a consult, and then I'll have several open in July. So I'd love to have that conversation with you. And okay, let me pull a card. So how is it you are receiving a gem? How is it you're releasing the fear below the pain and receiving a gem? Let's go with this deck. So many decks to play with. Let's see what your guardian angels are saying, and we shall be done. All right. How is it you're releasing the fear below the pain and receiving a gem? What are your guardian angels saying about that this week? Yay! Harmony and resolution. Angels of harmony, angels of resolution are here. Harmony. So bringing in, restoring harmony by inviting your soul to lead, restoring harmony by setting that crystal clear intention, restoring harmony by inviting your angels to guide, surround, direct, and protect you, right? Ask for a resolution to the pain. Ask for a resolution to the fear. Whatever illness, disease, issue in the tissue, relationship challenge you're going through, right? In order to receive help, we need to ask. So asking from, in any way, right? You can write it, you can say it out loud, you can pray, you can sing it, like any way, right? Maybe it is reaching out to a friend. I had a friend reach out to me who had surgery and had like a kind of a complication from the surgery. And I was so grateful that she reached out and asked for help. And I was able to spend a couple hours with her. And she had so much relief from our time together, physically and emotionally and all of that. And I was like, wow, right? Like I wouldn't have known, right? Unless she asked for help. So sometimes we have to ask our friends. Sometimes we're always having to ask our divine team because of our free will. So we welcome the angels of harmony and the angels of resolution this week. Whatever you've been struggling or holding on to or needing to transform, resolution is like right here. So take the time, right, to slow down and relax, come into the now, simplify the story, the spiral, and let yourself release the unnecessary, and then soften and ask, right? What lesson am I learning from this pain? Thank you for the resolution. Thank you for filling me with harmony and the resolution. I just love that. So my dears, I'm going to be on vacation next week, so there's no podcast, but in my newsletter, if you're not signed up for my newsletter, go to my website, jillkempnerhealing.com, and at the bottom of the page, you can sign up for my newsletter because I send these and many value add offerings to your inbox. And next week, I have a message, a gift for you. So I'm going to leave it to be a little surprise. And then, oh yeah, one more thing. I am doing a new offering on Mondays. I'm actually might tweak the time, but it's definitely the dates that I have set aside of a brand new offering that's only going to be 30 minutes long. It's called Archangels for Pain Relief. And the first one is July 6th. It's a free offering, but you have to enroll. After I did my Oracle Monday video yesterday, I received another download because that's how things go, right? Test as you go, perfect as you go, refine as you go. And so on Monday, July 6th, I'll be doing Archangel Uriel meditation for pain relief for headaches and migraines. And I'm really excited about this offering because I'm bringing forward the Archangel frequency so that you can start to learn what Archangels help with what issue, what their frequency is. And you're going to be led through the alchemy formula and receive a beautiful healing for yourself and anyone you choose to share that message and medicine with. And so I'm really excited about that. You can enroll today. It's Monday, July 6th. And I want to say right now I have it at 11:30. I may change the time. So I know I'm gonna get that download and clarity on my vacation. So yeah, all is well. I love you. Welcome the angels of harmony and resolution. Feel free to share, like, comment. Thank you so much for your love and support. And I will see you on the other side of my vacay, and I'll see you in the summer, right? Across the summer solstice. Okay, lots of love. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Sarah and Pete and Nadine and Patty. Have a blessed day.